President Trump is rolling out a sweeping plan to expand offshore oil drilling, including areas off the coasts of California, Florida, and Alaska, where new federal leases haven't been allowed in decades.
Yeah, the announcement is already facing pushback from state leaders here in California. ABC 10 State Matters political reporter Jenny Huh is live in the studio with a closer look.
State leaders have been sounding the alarm bells even before the plan was unveiled, writing letters of opposition, citing the economic and environmental impacts of past oil spills.
Expanding offshore oil drilling is a really bad idea.
The more we drill, the more we spill.
Strong opposition already to President Donald Trump's proposal to reopen California's coast to offshore drilling.
Dead on arrival. Dead on arrival.
Newsom calls the plan idiotic as he and other Democratic leaders vow they will not stand by. California has largely stayed away from offshore drilling for decades, since the disastrous 1969 Santa Barbara oil spill, which environmental advocates call
the birth of the environmental movement in California and in the United States.
The U.S. Department of the Interior says the plan is part of Trump's efforts to restore American energy dominance. The plan pitches offshore lease sales spanning over 1 billion acres, including 6 along the California coast between 2027 and 2030. Nothing is finalized. Each lease sale faces environmental review and a 60-day public comment period set to begin Monday. Then,
oil companies bid on specific 3x3 lease areas.
We are very dependent on foreign oil and foreign products. It is critical for our national security that we become energy independent.
But opponents argue there are economic risks. Different sectors competing in offshore waters like military operations, marine transportation, commercial and recreational fishing, tourism and recreation.
95% of the marine economy is everything from tourism to ship and boat building, to living resources, fishing industry, that kind of thing. And about 5% of the GDP is offshore oil and gas.
And environmental risks like to the Dungeness crab, kelp forests, offshore islands, and coastal wetlands.
Where we feel like the federal agencies are breaking the law, California will step up.
If we're going to get away from oil and gas, we do it over a transition over a long period of time.
And experts point out the Biden administration had the fewest number of offshore lease sales, while President Trump has stated he wants to have more than any previous administration. Chris, Laura.